Absolutely. This tone shit. Okay. I mean, you can still share it. Yeah, either way, it's gonna be on mine because I'm about to share it.
Yeah, Tori, just tag me, bro, and I want to get this up too.
What up, though? Milwaukee's Realest Podcast. Mr. Unpopular Opinion, Tori.
BB Handy. That's Kayla, y'all.
Milwaukee's Realest Podcast. We can't hear it. Oh, okay. So
there we go.
I'm joined by two podcasters, two A mics. So if it gets a little sketchy with the talking, y'all know we just passionate about what we do. Go ahead, right to my right.
Man, you know what's going on, man. It's your boy Slick Talk with Scales in the building, man. Y'all know what the fuck is going on, man. Good to talk my Slick Talk one time.
And then all the way from Houston, Texas, we got my brother.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, it's the original Ego and Opinion Don Weave, host of Dad Demo Pod. Gentlemen, what's happening?
So now, before we get started, I'm give my brothers their flowers. Scales. Oh, wait, what? Cal, ain't you in Vegas? My brother Scales. I met him when he was doing his first podcast, Smoking Gossip, and now he's moved on like David Ruffin did. You know, he got his own thing going with Slick Talk Scales. Y'all make sure y'all check that podcast out
every Tuesday and Thursday, man, 6 p.m. ish.
You never know. Never know who's gonna stop through.
Yeah, you never know what's going on there. We wild.
And then much like Scales did, Weave, I met him when he was doing Egos and Opinions, and he became like David Ruffin. And went and started the Dad Demo podcast. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out too. Both of them dope podcasts. I listen to both of them. I follow both of them. Make sure y'all go and check my boys out. No, I came back this morning. How was we supposed to know? Now, as you see, the ladies aren't in the studio. We had to change the recording date to make sure that we could all meet up at the same time. I was under the assumption that Kayla was still in Vegas because she travels all the time, but she's back. So my apologies to Kayla. And I don't even know if I text Amber, so I'm gonna be in trouble next episode.
It ain't your fault.
Yeah, right. It ain't my fault. You know, no ma'am. That's how we do it.
Hey, nigga day.
Last Thursday.
nigga day. It slide over here too.
Yeah, Meg the Stallion gave us a nigga day last Thursday. Cherie wasn't in the building, so
okay.
All niggas. We talked hip hop for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
And ironically, that's what we're getting ready to do. It's gonna be a couple underlying topics, but. For one, I want to ask both of y'all how y'all been doing. I haven't seen you in a while.
I've been busy. like I said, the pod, like you said, the pod is growing. We on episode 110 now. So, you know what I'm saying? I think, well, we do 111 tomorrow, right, Ken? Yeah, we do 111 tomorrow. So it's been keeping me busy. We running commercials, ads. We got sponsors. You know what I'm saying? So it's grown, and the baby has gotten very big. It's starting to walk now.
There
you know what I'm saying? So I got to do different dad shit. No pun intended. But I got to do different dad shit now for it. But it keeps me busy. So, you know, I appreciate it. So that's really been about it. I've been trying to make sure I keep my feet on the neck of that. I don't want to let up on it. You know what I'm saying? People fucking with it. So I want to make sure I continue to get them content and shit that they like. You know what I mean?
There you go. It's all about consistency.
Facts.
Weave, what's been going on with you?
Man, being a pops, you know, I'm back in the lab actually working on my first production effort. That'll be dropping top of the year. Can you hear me? Bring me up a little bit.
Oh, we can't. You talking? We can hear you. On our end.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no, I've been you know, I'm back in the lab. You know, I have a production effort that I'm cooking up. That'll be coming top of 2020. What is this? 2022. So, you know, putting my time and effort into that. You know, doing dad demo when I can, and you know, just kicking back, being a parent. You know, the kids getting older, requiring more of my attention. You know, my fiance's patience is thinner, so you know, I gotta be a man of many different hats nowadays. So, you know, but life is good, man. No complaints.
All right, that's dope. Before we get into what we came to talk about, which I'm excited to talk about this topic. Me and Skills have done it before, and I'm really excited because Weave is with us. One bonus topic we just gonna get over because it wouldn't be right, I guess, if we didn't address it. R. Kelly has now been sentenced, convicted, and is awaiting sentencing for the crimes of the Mann Act, trafficking, racketeering. It took the jury a little longer than I like to deliberate, and I'm just going to guess and speculate because
it was
of the racketeering
and the racketeering.
Because the racketeering is tricky.
Tricky facts.
That means he's got to be the head of a criminal organization,
facts.
And I didn't think they was going to get him on that.
Facts.
But see, I feel like that opens the door for like an appeal. Like I don't believe these are the charges that stick. Like there's
not the racketeering one. The other ones I can believe. For those that aren't clear, that are probably listening, the Mann Act is just simply something that was put in place back in the late 1800s. That means you can't transport women across state lines for the purpose of anything immoral, debauchery, or sexual exploitation. That's just what the Mann Act covers. So I think he did those things. But racketeering, it mean he was giving them girls off to people, in my opinion.
So the thing that I took it was I had a cousin that fought a RICO drug case a couple years ago and lost, of course, because nobody really beats the feds. But I learned a lot of stipulations about how the law worked. He got, you know, he learned his law shit while he was in prison. He just so he could watch his attorney while he was fighting, you know, trying to appeal this situation.
Most convicts do, yeah.
So what I learned is that everybody that hustled with him, the way they was able to get a racketeering charge, RICO charge on my cousin is that to keep them out of prison or to give them lesser sentences, they all turned on him. Mm-hmm. So then that's how he did that. So and when I looked up the R. Kelly shit, maids, delivery guys, bodyguards, other songwriters, other producers, beat makers, all testified against him for clemency with the Fed, so then they can get R. Kelly as the big fish. See, they do that in drug cases a lot. That's what 6ix9ine just did to them niggas a couple of years ago. Yeah. Like that's what they do in big drug cases. If they want me, they'll give y'all clemency just to get me because I'm the real big fish. You know what I'm saying?
But then my question then would be,
because you know what happened. So you guilty, nigga. You was there when he did this with this child. You're aiding and abetting. You're guilty, fam. We got footage, testimony, recordings. Hey, you was there, boss. So if you don't cooperate with us, you can go to jail with this nigga. And most of them people ain't going to jail with that nigga. Remember, they froze his money up so he couldn't keep paying nigga. People that he was threatening witnesses. He was doing all kind of reckless shit. So I knew he was going to be found guilty on all of that shit because he was doing too much.
Well, up until you just said that, I never thought the racketeering charge was going to stick. And that's why I thought the jury was held.
He's going to, like we said, he's going to get a chance at appeal, though, because of how wild that racketeering case is, because it's not like selling dope. It's like you said, it's like he had to literally be handing you a young girl. Like, here you go, dog. Like, it's going to be tough to prove that. You know what I'm saying? But
see, that's my problem with like the legal system, right? And of course, we could talk about this all day, but At any point that anyone is connected, boil all of these motherfuckers. Boil them. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's rid everybody. There should not be any type of outs for anybody. That's the problem, because now all we're doing is sending those people that were aiding and abetting right back out into the street just to turn the blind eye to some other bullshit.
Or to continue their behaviors, because who's to say they weren't doing that shit with Kels on their own? They could be just what he was. You know what I'm saying? Them old niggas he had around him, they could have been just what he was on. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
that's true. I mean, they got him, but at the end of the day, if let's just say in hypothetics he had beat New York, he still had to go directly to Illinois, and then after Illinois, he got to go to Minnesota.
Yeah.
So every state wasn't gonna let him off. Y'all
I mean, I get it, but when you have that type of money, man, there's things that can be done, bro. Like we've seen it, you know, and it's, again, the justice system is flawed. You know, they're gonna get who they want to get, but sometimes we got to go back to medieval days, cut niggas' dicks off, boil them, and be done.
Yeah.
Send a strong message and end it. And this is why I can't, like, I'm slowly losing respect for capers of the music. It's so we can detach. This music it's great music, but it's not that to where we can't let it go.
Yeah, on my pod yesterday, we debated the subject matter.
Yeah,
it's different. Like, if his subject matter wasn't the way it was, then it would be easier to be like, maybe we could keep listening to this. But the subject matter, along with the atrocities and things that the crimes that he committed, is just too much. It's like a slap in the face to me. It reminds me, I played the Huey from the Boondocks clip on my pod yesterday, and it resonates again. Like, yo, every nigga that get in trouble ain't Martin Luther King. Like, we gotta stop. Ain't Nelson Mandela. We gotta stop doing that shit. Like, just because you like this nigga's music does not make him not guilty. Like, he did that shit. Like,
well, see, that part is right, but I don't know. It's for not them sickos you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about for the people that still say, okay, I'm gonna still, jam the R. Kelly or whatever. I'm pro-choice. If you want to do it, fine. As long as you're not screaming the nigga innocence and you cool with that shit, I don't have a problem with either. Yeah, then cool. But if you want to listen to his music, that's your business.
But like, we did the research, he ain't on no curated playlist anymore. So if you go look for his music, you're typing his name in and going to listen to it. So you ain't saying it's just coming on by accident. But if that's your choice, that's your choice.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, up until this conviction, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? I was in Savoy's. And they were playing Happy People. I mean,
I do an R&B.
I'm not going to get appalled by it, because I feel in my heart of hearts, there's a whole list of motherfuckers that just ain't got caught that's just as sick that I don't know nothing about. I mean,
but when it comes,
this motherfuckers in these people family.
Yeah.
They should be crucified.
Am I canceling this catalog? I'm not going to go looking for it, but if it's being
played, I'm not finna like walk out the bar.
Right.
Man,
oh no.
It takes way more energy to do all that.
Yeah,
I think that's an extreme.
I gotta cancel out damn near like Russell Simmons. I gotta cancel out everything from Def Jam produced by him and shit. And that's a long fucking list.
Exactly.
Nah, but see, I think that's a false.
Crank weave up a little more for me, please.
Yeah, I think that's a false parallel, because again, this music is rooted in this behavior. Now, okay, I can understand. Yeah, we could maybe let I Believe I Can Fly slide, or Step in the Name of Love.
I'm the world's greatest.
Yeah, but I'm coming to the spot scales, and this is all due respect. But if I walk into the joint and Seems Like You're Ready is bumping, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
that's different. That's different, because those songs right there.
See, but that's what I'm saying.
Certain songs,
but that's what I was saying. It's
triggers.
The content. Yeah. It's the content.
Certain
this guy's
content.
An example.
Age ain't nothing but a number. I'm not listening to that shit.
An example I brought up was that Ike Turner. Like, I make a lot of Ike Turner jokes, but Ike Turner is really like a GOAT to me, because he's one of the greatest American songwriters in history.
Yeah.
Fucked up that he was a woman beater and shit, and abuser and shit. That's fucked up. But at the same time, he didn't write songs about beating Tina's ass. So I can still listen to Ike's catalog when it comes on, or I watch a documentary, or I watch the movie, and not be turned off. I can praise his music still. His, on the other hand, like,
it's different. Yeah,
if you're 18, I need to see your ID. If you're 16, we gonna let you slide. Like, he's singing this shit in songs. Like, it's kind of like I'm the Pied Piper, and like, whoa, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's when you get to a level of being untouchable, and you start playing in motherfuckers' faces.
Yeah, he played in our face totally. Especially
and
with
that's my problem. That's my problem.
I do have one question though for both of y'all. Either one of y'all that want to answer. Previous up until this whole stint with R. Kelly last year getting arrested and them really putting the hooks to him. 20 years ago, we knew this nigga was sick.
Facts.
15 years ago, when the Shaft dropped and he put out the song Bad Man, he told you everything in that song that he was. And he told you he wasn't ashamed of who he was. He was fucked up. He wasn't a good person. So if we saw video, ocular proof of what he did 20 years ago, 5 years ago, he confesses on wax. Why is the big outrage now that he gets arrested? That was the only question with all of this.
You can't.
I had already said the nigga deemed the nigga sick, and
yeah, me too. A long time ago, like when him and Ho fell out during the Best of Both Worlds tour and all that type of shit. I kind of mailed it in on R. Kelly at that point.
And it's been a lot of speculations about that. In my heart of hearts, I believe that somebody from Hove camp saw something they wasn't supposed to see. That's why the scuffle. Because I won tickets from Reggie Brown.
Come on, man. I put up. You saw my stat the other day. I was salty, bro. I'm talking about. I almost cried, nigga.
I
was sick.
One ticket.
I remember that.
And picked them up, and they canceled that shit the day before.
Bro, their tour buses were here. I saw the Rockefeller bus downtown, nigga. Do you know how excited I was? Like,
I think you hit it on the head. I think something did happen.
No, Ty, one of
believe.
them niggas saw something they wasn't supposed to see, boss.
This nigga R. Kelly wild.
Yeah. Somebody in the Leah camp pulled dang coattail or something to some shit that wasn't supposed to be going on, bro. And once they got to Jay confronted him about it, and R. Kelly didn't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? And everything went left from there. I thought that years ago, though. But see, that's because I've been thought he was a sicko. I got people from Chicago who have been telling me he had been fucking little girls before the tape came out. Because I got people that's on the turf in the Chi that grew up with R. Kelly now, went to high school with him, know his brothers and shit, sister, you know what I'm saying? Know he was raped as a child. I knew that years ago before that became public knowledge. I knew that when he was a star, when I was still a fan of him. I knew somebody had fucked with him and his brothers when they was kids. You know what I'm saying? But that still doesn't excuse his behavior.
No, it don't.
You see what I'm saying? People coming up with Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis. Okay, they're all sickos too. R. Kelly goes in the sicko bag with them. Like, why are you giving me this excuse? Because on my R. Kelly post today, like I say R. Kelly ain't shitting, and your rebuttal to me is, well, Elvis Presley married. I don't give a fuck what Elvis Presley did. Fuck Elvis Presley.
Because people need something. People need stuff to argue about. I had this conversation with Weave before. When you get to social media and the reason, you know, Weave get labeled trolls is because we put up statuses and people feel obligated to comment. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree. You don't have to disagree. You could keep scrolling, but they need it. Some in their day isn't going right, so they're trying to put, energy can't be created or destroyed. It's got to be transferred.
Facts.
So they got to come to you with all this dumb logic. Shit don't make no sense. It all is just.
I seen males and females giving very dumb logic. I seen a lot of dudes that I'm side-eyeing right now, niggas with daughters and shit. Like, bro, what are you talking about right now, my nigga? Like, fuck the internet. Like, sometimes we just got to be 100 about what's going on. Like, I got an 11-year-old daughter. I don't think that R. Kelly shit is coy or cool or light or none of that. I think that's heavy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not on that type of time at all with nobody's daughter, including mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, when niggas screaming at protect black women shit, I'm really screaming at with children, bro. I work in the education system. Like, I'm not on none of that type of shit, bro. Like, I can't co-sign that behavior just because I like a nigga music. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's wild. To even think grown adult people are thinking like that. Like,
to bring it back to Tori's original question, 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. We have to respect like the growth, development, and maturation. You know, a lot of us weren't parents 20 years ago. We weren't, so living it now, some of that shit hits differently. You know what I'm saying? Some things kind of go by, because again, rape culture in the black community is a very touchy topic. And there's a lot of things that, we just let slide, right? For instance, right? You'll see a little girl and her grandma will get on her ass for how she's sitting on the couch. Girl, close your legs, right? And we're policing her because of the predators that might be looking in the area that they're not supposed to be looking at. So instead of dealing with that issue head on, we put the onus on the daughter for she's not thinking nothing like that.
Exactly.
She's sitting comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the appropriate Indian style is what I was gonna say, but nowadays you get canceled for everything. But you know, like shit's different nowadays. So like we're a lot more enlightened. So yes, we're perfectly fine to be outraged now because I go downstairs and I got a 1-year-old daughter. It's different. My nieces are 14, 15, 16 years old. So now I'm looking at them directly. See, I was 18 in college, and it was the dumbest shit in the world for them to put the responsibility on me to decide what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So now as this 18-year-old kid who was only in college to party, have sex, and do drugs, I got to figure out what I want to do in my 30s. What did I go down there for? To be a lawyer. And why did I leave? Because I didn't want to go to school that long. But what did I end up doing when I was 21, 22? I took my ass back to school. You see what I'm saying? So it's like experience, bro. That changes the game. So people are perfectly fine being outraged today. It's nothing wrong with that. We are different people now.
We were when the tape came out. Yeah, when the tape with the little girl.
When child pornography.
Yeah, when child pornography
being passed around and we were watching it in barbershops.
Yeah.
Shit that we can go to jail for now.
Today, yeah, absolutely.
Well, technically, we could have went to jail for it then, but I guess things, as time goes on, things are less socially acceptable. It was just as wrong then as it is now.
Yes,
let's be no mistake about that.
No, yeah, absolutely.
There wasn't any awareness. So you can go into the barbershop and niggas was watching the video. You might go to your parents' basement and they around like, yo, did y'all see this shit? And it's child pornography.
Facts.
They won't admit that now because they're more aware. You know what I'm saying? And that's just education and growth. That's it. So it's perfectly fine to continue to be outraged. I hate the 2015 5-year argument. It's bullshit because I'm not that same person.
Well, see, that's not an argument. That's more of a question. More of a question on everybody's opinions as to why 20 years ago he wasn't nailed to the cross the way he should have been.
Steven said in the comments the outrage is because he finally out of legal moves to stay out of prison. He's going for real this time. So that's where the outrage is coming from. Yeah.
Honestly, like I was just saying, and maybe Steven didn't hear, I honestly thought he was going to get off on the racketeering. I couldn't picture it in my head how you can come up with a solid racketeering charge. I mean, you shed light on it, but I just when I'm watching it, I'm like, what's taking the jury so long? So if you a
shrewd criminal, you might have ducked those charges. But R. Kelly was bribing witnesses. You know what I'm saying? He was doing a lot of reckless shit leading up to this verdict. So all of that goes into the jury room too. Like even any benefit of the doubt they had, you lose that when you badgering witnesses. See, like, why are you doing that to witnesses if you ain't did nothing, nigga?
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, I know you're not.
It's the time, though. It's the time that we're in. You would have expected this jury to maybe 4 hours max, and they would have came out guilty on everything. They went home over the weekend.
No, they went home over the weekend.
To come back to deliberate some more.
But see, sometimes it's kind of like with work, right? When I used to, do IT ticketing, right? Yes, we can knock all these tickets out right then and there, but that only sets the expectation that we could work this fast in the future. So we're gonna let it marinate. Let that
we're gonna milk this.
Have you ever been on jury duty? That shit ain't fun. You want to get that shit over as quickly as possible. That ain't no high profile, glamorous shit. If I'm in the jury room, I'm like, look, we know this nigga guilty. Everything's been lined up. Sign the paper so we can get the fuck out of here.
But I do remember before all this shit that there was a lot of cover up and lack of forthcoming
facts.
With a lot of the facts. Like, some people were covering shit up. They were actually siding with him, saying that he didn't kidnap me. I mean, it was messy, and he was feeling indestructible. You know what I mean? Like he didn't.
Well, really... that was at the beginning. So I'll agree with you on that because that could play a part in the jury room.
So and it died until that documentary came out, and then it popped back up.
So then the defense in this, right? So the reason he got banked is because the Me Too movement is very, very powerful right now. The Me Too movement has more power and money than R. Kelly in today's time. If the Me Too movement would have been around in the first case, he'd have went to jail. He wouldn't have beat that case either. Even if that girl got on stand and said, no, that's not me on the tape, they'd have found a way to lock his ass up regardless. Same thing.
They'd have bribed her.
Yeah, they'd have bribed her. They'd have made sure that she convicted that nigga that day. So now the tables are turned, like we've said, maturation. Things are less taboo as they were then. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't dare watch child porn. Back then, it was like a 50-50 chance that you would laugh at it and make fun of it. In today's time, us 4 men sitting here right now wouldn't giggle at that shit. You see what I'm saying? But 15, 20 years ago, I might have giggled at that because I didn't have a child. It wasn't that serious to me. Like the way it got introduced to me was in a funny way. It wasn't in a serious way. Like you describing, the Surviving R. Kelly shit was brought to us in a serious way. It's in the horror section on Netflix. No, seriously, go look it up. It's in the horror section on Netflix.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It was presented to us like, even when you look at the way Lifetime advertised it, it was like a horror film. It wasn't like a praise thing or even like a documentary.
You said that last night. Marketing.
It was marketed. It was marketed to us like, man, you better be scared of R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he coming to get your daughters. That's how it was brought to us. So it made a nigga like me on high alert. Like, I already was on high alert with this nigga. Now I got actual footage and testimonies. So I'm thinking like a Fed, like the defense. Like, we come after this nigga, freeze all his assets. They can't pay nobody. Make sure Arista or Jive, whoever owns the rights to his music, can continue to get paid. But we're going to freeze him from any public sectors. Curated playlists, Vibe, smooth R&B on Pandora. Y'all bet not put that shit in the playlist or we coming after y'all. See, they don't want the pressure of the Me Too movement. Nobody does. So then you disassociate yourself from R. Kelly. And then that's how you attack from the outside. And they got all the way to the inner circle to where his right-hand men were like, no, we'll turn testimony against this nigga. We done. Like, he ain't got no more money to give me. I'm done. Like, I'm not going to the feds for this. You know what I'm saying?
And some of the niggas knew half the story of what was going on too. And the real shit come out like, that nigga was, that's what he was doing.
Come on, man.
Oh shit. That mean that this was happening. So
when does this pressure get applied to Nicki Minaj?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I've been trying to figure that out since yesterday. I had pressure for her when she put the shit up for her brother.
The problem with, I think, right now for Nicki Minaj is you got to break that defense. You know, just like if you were playing football, you got to get through that wall first. And the wall is always going to be the barbs. You know, I've always said, as far as fan bases go, top 5 worst fan bases, number 2 got to be the barbs. Number 1 going to be the Beehive. Yeah. And then number 3 going to be the, what they call them, Swifties, Taylor Swift's, what you call it. But them 3, but the even with the shit that happened with the whole vaccine thing, they are going to go to war over Nicki. So you got to break their defense first. I mean, she's got, when you that powerful to have 20 million people follow you on Instagram, another 30 on Twitter, it's not going to be easy to just say, hey, you paid the legal fees for your brother who was...
And your husband.
Yeah, who was messing with women.
We just saw a video of a victim discussing being bribed.
Right, yeah.
And it's gone. Not the video itself, but
it's going off for social media. Yeah, it's going off for trending topics. Yeah, it's not a trending topic. That didn't really get no legs. I was wondering why that didn't get no legs that day. Nobody was really talking about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
The barbs aren't about to play about Nicki, and you know, as fucked up as it is, and I think she's sick herself too. You know, as a woman, you know, hiding this shit and okaying this shit and marrying into some shit
and bribing women.
Yeah, I mean, it just don't make sense to be a woman to do that shit. But right now, I hate to say it, but Nicki is what R. Kelly used to be.
So you're telling me that
she pulling the same antics.
The Me Too movement has been infiltrated by the barbs.
Yeah, the Me Too movement could very well, you know, like I tell people all the time. It wasn't only white faces up under them Ku Klux Klan hoods. Yes, you know, sometimes the people that you think, you know, is riding with you was there to just find out what's going on and what your next move is. Me Too. Yeah, they're powerful. LBGT is too. Yeah. But how many barbs are in the LBGT?
Nicki's got a huge gay fan base. Huge gay
shit. That's real shit.
Yeah, she do.
But all right, we'll sum it up that R. Kelly going to jail. It's these charges alone that he faced in New York. He ain't coming back.
Bro, if he get booked on one of them, he could get they could throw all 16 out. If they book him on one, he's cooked, bro. Like, these charges ain't no joke.
And he's still facing charges in 2 other states. Yeah. And that's why they pushed out sentencing to May 2nd, I believe, because they want to see what happens in Illinois and what happens in Minnesota. So bye-bye to Kills.
Peace.
But moving on, right now, it's my pleasure. This is part 2, actually. Me and Scales sat down along with Teasy of the Teasy Talks podcast. Shout out to her. And we added Weave into this conversation. It's a music conversation that we're having about something that I love called Versus TV. That streams on what was it, Apple Music. We got the replay on Tidal. We have
Triller.
Triller
is the app that it comes on.
Triller and Instagram Live. This is something for y'all that's been living under the rock, basically on March 24, 2020, during the lockdown, during the height of our fears about COVID and what was to become. To a certain degree, most of us were saved. We were saved in the sense that we were entertained between 2 legendary music producers, Timberland and Swiss Beats, when they began to battle each other. This has been nothing short of amazing. I can't think of anything that has grown faster. I can't think of any other example of Black excellence that has reached the height it has. This started off as just an Instagram Live, something I could do with Skills right now, going back and forth, for much like we're doing right now with Weave. They've turned this into a multi-million-dollar enterprise, multiple sponsors, multiple supporters,
bigger artists joining the platform now.
Instagram, breaking the Instagram live records with 750,000 at one time. We've seen faces like Erykah Badu, Patti LaBelle, legendary Gladys Knight. We've seen some of our favorite R&B artists. When we saw groups like 112 and Jagged Edge go against each other, or when we saw legendary Bobby Brown go versus Keith Sweat. We've seen some of our favorite hip hop artists, the ones that are commercial and the ones that are grimy. We saw Gucci versus Jeezy. We saw Nelly versus Ludacris. We've seen legendary producers. It's transcended. We've got the reggae section. We've had the R&B section. We have the smooth lover section, the hardcore rap section. It's been just amazing. But right now, it's a year later, and we're coming back to talk about Versus. First off and foremost, I'm gonna start with Weave. To date, what has been your favorite Versus battle?
My personal favorite is probably Kiss and Fab. I think only because, again, so when we have these matchups come up, I go right to the playlist, right? So I call Kiss out the gate, and I'm met with so much resistance. It's Fab has the soul tape.
Man, the internet,
hey, I was one of them. I'm not gonna lie.
The internet gave it to Fab as soon as the flyer went up.
Damn.
I did too.
That's what makes it memorable for me, because now you have to hear my mouth, and when I tell you, first off, let's just give Jadakiss his flowers real quick, because of course we're gonna talk about Dipset and the Lox, but he put on a masterclass, listening to the conversation that he had with Joe Budden leading up to the Verses, and how he was like strategically planning and had counters for what Fab was going to do. Like, it was a different level. That's what I do to niggas that try to battle me in music shits. Like, Tay, stop running from Scales. I gotta put that. Tay, stop running from Scales. We're not gonna have that. But easily my favorite one, bro, because he just, he set the tone, and he started the, dropping the lyrics and actually rapping over some of the records. Like, it was a beautiful thing to see. And we learned that it's not just about like the star power of the records. Like, hip hop at its core can win you around. Kiss was throwing out freestyles, and you had to be from the LimeWire, era to where we download these joints to really understand. That's why I was talking to my partners in Texas, like, yo, y'all don't know. I'm looking at your face when these records come on and y'all confused, but you want to call out a winner. Cut it out.
Scales, what was it?
I'm under the elk that he's under. It was a lot of them that I enjoyed. Like Too Short E40 I thought was a very underrated one that was dope, because it was just dope for the culture. Them niggas played 30 bangers for 4 hours on Instagram, and it made me appreciate because you know I'm from California originally, but it made me appreciate them niggas catalogs because I was taking them niggas for granted. So that's what Versus did for me with those guys. I also enjoyed Ghosts and Rays. Like it was the ones that were more friendlier I enjoyed, but my favorite is what Kiss did to the Locks. Like, I mean, what Kiss did to Dipset. Like, that was my favorite because what he said. I'm a big fan of like smack battles. And to me, Kiss took it back to the smack original, what hip hop battle, KRS-One, dissing Queensbridge. That's what Jadakiss did to them niggas on a live platform in front of the world, though. Like, not just in front of a few niggas and a couple bitches in the room. Like, he did this in front of the entire world to a group that we think is phenomenal. You get what I'm saying? Like, he didn't just dismantle some scrubs. He dismantled some niggas that we think is the shit. You get what I'm saying? So that I enjoyed that one the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Kiss is just my highlight.
Real quick, Scales, what part of Cali are you from?
I'm from Oakland. Richmond, actually, but it's considered Oakland.
So when I mention names like Mac Dre, the Jacka, like you know where. Okay,
I'm very, very adept to that.
Yeah. To the listeners, hey, Google those guys. Mac Dre gave me a different appreciation for music itself and for artistry. Like, phenomenal artists. You know, rest in peace to the Jacka, rest in peace to Dre, Keek. Like, yeah, you know, my roommate was from the Bay, so like I was flooded heavy with, you know, Vallejo, Richmond,
the underground scene is crazy. Like, between them and Texas, I don't know who's got a crazier underground scene. Like, them niggas be millionaires and you've never even heard of these guys before. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be rich way before the record deal. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's how I be feeling when I go down to Atlanta, because there's so much fucking money down there and people you don't know.
And what's crazy about Atlanta is me being there in the early stages, like when BMF first got to Atlanta and shit. California and Texas brought that culture to Atlanta. Atlanta underground rap scene wasn't that potent. They got that culture from, you know what I'm saying, Texas and California, because them niggas started migrating there. You got to remember, Too Short moved to Atlanta in the in the late 90s and put out the Nationwide record. That's where we get Lil Jon from. Remember them joints that he put out with the East Side Boys and shit? Too Short had moved to the A and started an independent label, and that's how we got to Lil Jon. You see what I'm saying? So he brought that underground shit, like, yo, you can sell this shit out the trunk. And then Atlanta got just such a culture where they support their music that it just transferred over, and it went together like seamlessly. I got to watch that shit happen like overnight. You know what I'm saying? Because I come from somewhere where that wasn't happening.
Which has music. Transferred Atlanta into the hub of damn near hip hop now. Exactly. Like I've said, I think the last time we were talking, you know, New York still gets the credit.
Hey, you know, they brought that up because Academics asked 21 Savage that on his show the other day.
What?
Who would win the versus battle between New York and Atlanta?
And I told you, I'm like, New York has been getting a pass for years because they are New York. I truly feel the music is lying in the South at this point in time. I just, you know, like,
wait, what are we saying?
You even told us you
look
did.
Look at Weave. What you say?
New York do get a pass because it's New York. The big part of out of New York are people you wouldn't even play right now.
Which is fine, but what are you trying to say there?
Oh, what I'm saying is, if New York and Atlanta went up into a battle, when we're talking about current artists right now, Atlanta will win. I mean, damn near old Atlanta might give them a run for their money. They wouldn't win, but they give them, because you're talking about Big and Jay and all of them now. That wouldn't be fair at all, but
okay, so you're splitting it current.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it wouldn't be fair.
Okay, I'll let that slide. But collectively, stop it.
No, not collectively. I mean, you'd be a fool to make that statement. No, I mean, it's too much legendary shit. But that's my problem, because people are still basing that legendary shit in 2021, thinking that everything that flows through hip hop is still New York. New York gets a pass. People celebrate 50 Cent and all this other shit. I think he's a subpar rapper at best. But because he's from New York and had a couple million albums, I mean, hell, Nelly did the same thing and nobody even cares about the fucking shit Nelly sold. Well, which brings me to my favorite verses. Hold on 1 second before you rebuttal. My favorite verses was Ludacris and Nelly.
That was your favorite.
And because what you got from Jadakiss, I think started with Ludacris.
Oh, the programming. Yeah, the musical
having
programming.
A strategy and having it mapped out. So to me, Luda sat down.
No, Luda executed flawlessly that night. I'm talking about flawlessly. I'm not even a Ludacris fan like that. He executed flawlessly that night. But he used to be a radio DJ. So he knows about programming and shit. The nigga was on the radio when I was in college in Atlanta. He was Chris Lover on the radio before he got his record deal. So the nigga knows about programming. He DJs parties and shit right now. So the nigga knows about programming. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, like I watched that, and the world that gave it to Nelly, and rightfully so. If you look at Nelly catalog in 2 albums, he should have had enough to wipe Luda out.
But it's what I be saying in verses when we debate on my show, because Don on my show feels Mariah Carey can clean up Mary J. Blige, right? Never. So that's what we debate on our show. It's not how big a record was that automatically wins around in the verses. It's about how it rings off in front of that group of people. It's just like the battle that you went to this weekend, Weave. That's why I think the smack battles in the versus shit are damn near, you know what I mean? They like parallel because big name people, Mook and all these niggas, we was waiting on that. Them niggas hit us with a won't. They let us down. But the unheard of or the niggas on the up, they was bodying shit. Every time I tapped in with Weave, he was talking about a new nigga or a nigga that was on his way up.
They were hungry.
They were hungrier. So that's what I'm saying about this versus shit. It's different how that shit gonna ring off in the room. A lot of those Mook lines might have been dope on a song, but in a battle format, them lines weren't landing. I watched him shoot duds into the crowd to the point where I cut that shit off. I told my man, like, man, cut that shit off. I don't even want to watch Mook. He embarrassing himself right now.
Yeah, no, that was my bathroom break.
Damn.
Real talk.
You know, bullshit. No, not lying at all. When Mook
we
was
talking
rapping,
about Goldie, when I see him on the lineup, that's the battle I'm looking for. Him and Rhea, that's the battle I'm looking for. That's the one I X. Like, I gotta see that. And them niggas came out and hit me with the womp. Like, so that's what I'm saying. It's about how that shit ring off in the room, son. You know what I'm saying? I used to battle rap. You can go in there thinking like, oh yeah, I'm the nigga. I got the fan base. And bro got some shit for you on the other side of that mic when it's his go. You see what I'm saying? Like, that ain't how, and when you go in a battle, that's what a battle is. You know what I'm saying? That's just like a nigga line up when Mike lined up in front of Ivo. Come on, man. You can get cooked. I don't give a fuck if you the best defender in this decade. He catch you leaning the wrong way. You cooked, boss. That's how this shit go.
I'm the young nigga. I'm hungry. I'm this. Because that's why I'm
That's how this shit go, brother.
Give me Mike. If I'm gonna be here, let's see how good I am.
Drew Holiday, Devin Booker, give me the ball, fam. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's just how this shit go when we match up. On paper, nigga picking Devin Booker over Drew 100 times. But in that one play, who got it done? You see what I'm saying? That's what a battle is. I think that's where people forget because they get into their fan mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mary J affected people's lives with those records. Like, got people through like rehabilitation, battered women through shelters.
I want to be clear about something.
When some of them songs come on, brother, yeah.
Fan mode, there's nothing wrong with it. Because if there was no fan mode, then we wouldn't have these interesting conversations. Yeah, everybody would be leaning the same way.
Yeah, but
so we gotta have a fan mode.
When you get to splitting hairs, though, that fan shit get a little tricky. You gotta be realistic and honest. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I don't understand why the Puff and JD conversation is
into that. Please,
well, you know what? I can give some context to that because it's shit I wanted to write on your status, but it would have been too long.
No, we're gonna do it right here.
Yeah, we're gonna do it while we're talking.
We here.
You get to Puff and JD. And these are just my opinions. You don't got to agree with them.
This is what we doing this for.
Man, we don't need no disclaimers, man. Shoot that shit.
Exactly.
Okay, you got Puff and JD. Puff is calling out for Dre and is kicking JD to the curb. Now, I agree with everybody in the sense of we know, or it should not be a loss on Puffy because Puffy, on one hand, is top tier as far as music producers go. I don't even think there's a music producer that could do a versus with Puffy when you get to his catalog. But for the sake of having the verses with Puffy, the most logical choice is going to be JD. That's the only person that can go with him as far as R&B and old school and somewhat within the last 10 years as far as music goes. JD has legendary songs just like Puffy does. The cheat code would be Mary J and Big, but he's not going to play. Nobody's going to play all of two artists for their verses. So that's not going to happen.
Why not?
Right.
Why not? I'm a Biggie your head the fuck off.
Oh yeah, I'm bigging you.
And listen, see,
yeah, you might be right, but Puffy's not going to do that. You know, you'd be kidding yourself if you thought you thought he was going to come and play 20 Big songs.
Do you think
he's playing at least 8?
Yeah.
At minimum. And see, this
I don't think because you know what, somebody like Diddy is gonna take that stage and they're gonna want to show their range as to what they produce.
Bro, he playing at least 8 Biggie records. Now, if
think
they
it'd
not
be
just
8.
I'm talking about not 8 singles, but at least 8 records
With
with Biggie on them. Yes,
okay,
easily.
That's fine, but okay, you're calling out Dr. Dre. In my opinion, Dre's the easier win for you because Dre doesn't have a deep R&B bag. So
but see, that's
all y'all
that's
gonna do
the
is
problem.
hold on, let me finish. All y'all gonna do is exchange 5 tracks between Pac and Big, and once that's done, you're going to smoke Dre.
So you know what's fucked up about that, Tory? Dre don't even got 5 records that he produced for Pac. They only did 2 records together.
Okay,
they hated each other's guts.
Okay, so 2 and then 3 Snoop.
Yeah, I think Dre wants to go more Snoop in this battle. Like I'm saying, Puff's gonna go very big. Dre's gonna go very Snoop in this battle.
You think he's gonna go very big? I don't. I think he's going to play big tracks. Don't get me wrong. That he would be stupid not to. I think he's going to play Mary J tracks. He would be stupid not to.
Mary J.
I don't think that's what he's going to.
I think you get Mary J. and Jonas.
This is like finding a trick in Mortal Kombat and just keep sweeping the whole fucking game. It's not showing that you can really play. It's just trying to get through it. If you're gonna body JD, you're gonna body JD on the R&B end. You're gonna body him on the hip hop end. You're gonna show your range to do it. You're gonna show why you're the greatest producer of all time. I don't think
you don't have to show range. You don't have to show. See, if you pay attention, JD is trying to force this R&B angle because that's where he knows he stands a shot.
Facts.
Jadakiss just showed you I don't have to play your game. Play them R&B records, Fab. Play them radio records, Fab. I'm going to freestyle your head off. That's it. So, yes, I understand what you're saying with the R&B bag, but I look at it as highs and lows. Dre has more highs to match Puff's highs.
Mm-hmm.
JD doesn't have that. So when I start reeling off spades, what the fuck you going to throw at me? What are you going to throw at me? When I throw out Juicy or One More Chance, what you going to burn? Some Usher? It's not going to hit the same. Now we're in a concert format.
Fact.
So it's even worse. When them 808s start banging, shit's going to look a lot different. When I start dancing and being fly, it's going to be ugly. Ugly. And that's why Dr.
Dre saying that Dre's going to dance with him or something because JD would, but Dre's not.
No, but Dre definitely have Snoop Dogg and the West Coast niggas crip walking.
I get that.
Come on, them niggas Dub C and Snoop coming right out there smoking weed.
That's why these conversations are important.
You know what
because
I'm
I'm seeing these totally different than y'all two are seeing them. I'm seeing them as this is not fair. This is the path of least resistance.
So this is my thing, right?
You get the marquee, you get the marketing, you get the East versus West, you get the legendary producers. But once Puffy does, because he will slide into that R&B bag, Dre is going. What, he got 2 tracks?
So this is where I figured out the balance with what you're describing. Dre doesn't have a very deep R&B bag.
It's shallow at best.
But I don't feel that Dre has to play any R&B.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? Dre is one of the.
You're saying
Dre is one of the few producers in our genre of music that can go straight hip hop in the verses. I feel like if Kanye takes on niggas, he got to play some R&B. Pharrell got to play some R&B. It's a lot of producers. That nigga Dre though, he ain't got to do that. NWA bag. That's what scares me for Puffy. What are we gonna do when he goes in the NWA Ice Cube bag? That's a bag. Like I look, bro, I'm bad. Listen to me. I'm signed to Bad Boy. Puffy stole my money, all that shit. He owned my publishing. I am Bad Boy. But what scares me in the Dre battle is I grew up on NWA. That was a nasty beast. That shit was. Eminem and all that 50 Cent shit is cool. NWA to Snoop Dogg, that run, yeesh. That's a nasty run in music, period. Like, fuck genre, hip hop. I'm talking about music, everyday music. Bro, you heard them songs everywhere you went. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I remember being a child in Milwaukee. I ain't even talking about in California because, of course, we're going to hear it in California. I'm talking about in Wisconsin. I heard that shit everywhere I went, dog. So that's the only thing that scares me with Puff, because it's like he said, if we're in a concert format, do you want to play R&B versus Eazy-E, Boys in the Hood? Like, you don't want to play R&B versus. You got to play Biggie and the Lox and Black Rob and shit like that against that.
See, the problem with that is now you
shine and shit.
Now you getting into whose round is it? you know, are you going first or am I going first?
That plays a role in this shit too, though.
Because technically, the person that goes first is setting the tempo.
But then we switch it 10, though.
Yeah, we do.
And that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This is now chess.
Oh, well, yeah, it always been. Yeah.
Bring that queen out there if you want to. You better protect her. And while you trying to protect her, I'm gonna eat your ass up with my rooks and my knights. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's highs and lows.
Facts.
JD ain't got nothing but a G thing. What the fuck is he gonna do with that?
That's what I'm saying. That's what my thing with JD was. That's why I went on that rant. I went on that day and I was comparing JD records to Bad Boy records. I just wanted people to see it on paper. Even when you read it without hearing it, you see the impact. Benjamin's money ain't a thing. Hove, my nigga, but come on, man. Benjamin's is culture changing. Like, that changed the game.
Well, we already saw that. So
it works in everybody who's used that song in a battle. It wins the round, no matter what the other person plays.
That shit embarrassed Cameron. I mean, I felt embarrassed for Cameron because I knew Cameron.
It embarrassed Fab.
I knew Cameron won that round. It was like, y'all ain't got no hits and shit like that. They played balling. Like, I'm sorry, Locks ain't got no hits like that. The motherfuckers was like, that's all y'all got? And then all about the Benjamins play. I'm like, this shit ain't even fair no more.
Come on.
So I agree with y'all on, you know,
certain
songs. Oh, go ahead.
And my last point, right? So we know what Puff's hip-hop bag looks like. His R&B bag is just as deadly. Does he have confessions? Probably not.
No.
But Jodeci, Mary, come on, what the fuck?
Bro, Carl Thomas, Faith Evans, Mario 112. Like, what are we talking about right now?
We saw what 112 did to Jagged Edge.
Exactly. Clink them boys, right?
Leave Puff alone, man. Next question, man. Leave Puff alone.
I thought that one should have been live, though. I did. I felt that one should have been live. But that's a side point. I've already stated that it's Puff really shouldn't be battling anybody.
It's the thing.
If it was up to me and I had to choose, I would rather see the JD Puff. And you know what? That's why, I mean, I understand where you guys are coming from. I really do understand where you guys are coming from. But that's why you get so much backlash, because you got people that are fans of both genres of music. I mean, well, not both genres. Yeah, both genres, hip hop and R&B. Both genres of music. And truthfully, between the 90s and early 2000s, JD and Puff.
And Puff, yeah, they owned it.
So of course everybody's going into, as you call it, fan mode and saying that's the matchup I want to see. For me, but I'm just saying.
I also think that's why I went on my rant that day. I also think people forget about what Puff has done. And I think it's almost like the LeBron thing where people get fatigued with you winning so much. They forget about shit that you've done. Like, you've done shit other people hasn't done. Very good point that even Snoop Dogg agreed with me about that. Puffy brought up on that live with JD that day. You talking all them record sales and you in the Songwriter Hall of Fame and all that shit. Cool. Let's do solo careers. Puff got 6 number ones. Jay-Z don't got 6 number ones.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne don't got 6 number ones. Puff Daddy, the solo artist, has 6 number 1 Billboard records. So we talking all these Hall of Fame schematics and all of that shit. Like, come on, bro. What about let's just do solo careers, JD. You had a solo career. You put out a lot of solo music as a recording artist, not as a producer. JD, the recording artist. Puff wins 6 rounds with you, just with them 6 number ones. That's 6 rounds you lost off the rip because you don't have those in your bag.
Leave Puff alone. Leave that man alone.
Leave Puffy alone.
No, because that's the only way you get Puff in the versus battle. I don't agree with that at all.
No,
I want to see Puff on stage. I want to see Puff.
But he won't Dree. He won't Dree though. He won't Dree. He don't want Jermaine. Something else. Growing up, being a nigga, growing up in that era, right, and being a nigga who was a little older than what I was in that era, but because my dad was in music and I was just engulfed in the culture, I knew about shit that I probably shouldn't have known about. Blah blah blah. Whatever. At that time, JD and Puff looked at Jermaine Dupri as a biter. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but I'm here to give you some shit that was going on in the music business at that time.
You got my attention.
Eminem, I don't know if people remember, Eminem dissed JD on an Exhibit record back in the day. You get what I'm saying? So JD and Dre were beefing because Dre felt like the Brat was a mockery image of Snoop Dogg. Big flannel shirts, big baggy pants, braids, West Coast kind of beat. She from Chicago. Why she got the and all her beats? What are you doing, JD? Then on the flip side, you trying to be Puff because you in the videos dancing. You doing all the same shit Puff doing. So Puff was on JD's heels, but it wasn't public because they're all really friends. But it was a rivalry because just like in sports, that's something, it's competition in the shit.
It's just professional.
But they look at him as little bro. And that's why he was little broing him every time he got on camera with JD, like, bro, where Dre at?
Hey, Skills, I can't believe let me see, where am I at? I stay beefing with JD to the day Dre two ways me that it's okay to stop blazing them. Oops, bro, they was on JD neck, bro. I never put that together, dog.
I don't know how people in the industry just ignored that. I guess because it was Eminem, but I love when Eminem's in diss mode.
Yes,
I'm not a fan of any other Eminem but diss rapper Eminem. That's my favorite Eminem. I'm thumbs down on all the rest of that shit. But diss rapper Eminem, anytime he's got a target and he own that target, man, do the fool with that shit, bro.
Although he doesn't target quality opponents, but
even though he doesn't often quality opponents, but when he does, it's entertaining. Even if it's the Backstreet Boys, whoever he's cleaning up at that moment, he's very dissective with his cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, like I reference all the time, the 8 Mile verse. He cleaned homie up in 8 Mile. You know what I'm saying? That's how you clean a nigga up in a battle situation. He did it.
Education. Shout out to Scales for that.
You know what I'm saying? I thought about that when Puff was so appalled by the shit JD was saying on that live. If you really watch Fat Joe's live, Puff was appalled at JD. Mm-hmm. Like, you my man and all, but bro, you on here doing way too much, my nigga.
And not playing records
like that. You're not
playing records.
And not playing records. And you're not looked at as a hip-hop GOAT. At the end of the day, if you don't like Diddy personally, he's a hip-hop GOAT. He gave us Biggie. If he didn't do shit else, bro, he gave us Biggie. And for that, he goes into hip-hop GOAT category, along with Dre. Same shit. Dre gave us Eazy-E, Cube, all these characters that built a whole genre of music that Nipsey Hussle and Mozzie and all these niggas is still eating off of in 2021. Gangster rap from the West Coast is still a genre, and it's still making money from some shit that Eazy-E and Dre and them came up with on the fly in 1980, whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. Ice-T really started it, and then Dre and them took it from there because Dre gives all props to Ice-T as far as starting gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? But NWA, we all know, took it to the White House, took it to your living room. You know what I mean? They went to another level than Ice-T and Schoolie D and them and niggas was doing back when gangster rap technically started. They took it and made it more commercial. You know what I'm saying? So, but JD not in that conversation. You feel me?
I get it. I'm not
like how many classic
y'all are saying?
How many classic hip hop albums has JD been a part of?
Huh?
Classic hip hop albums has JD been a part of? What, Hard Knock Life? Because Money Ain't a Thing was on there. Like, that's what I'm saying.
And that's not a classic. Sorry.
And then Hard Knock Life's not even considered one of Hove's classics.
But
yeah, that's on both of their albums.
Yeah, but
he was a part of Mace's Harlem World. That's one of my favorite rap albums. Mace's debut album was tough. JD produced the record on there. But that's what I'm saying. Puff's been a part of so much shit, bro. The man executive produced Nip's album.
But we saying the same
thing. The man executive produced Nip's album.
We're saying
French Montana's last shit.
Same thing. I've already said that Puff.
Dre was a part of Kendrick shit. Like, what are we talking about? JD, you ain't a part of this shit. Like, them niggas is in another stratosphere, bruh. Like,
okay, but do we even know if Dre even wants the battle with?
But I'm just saying, for Puff, people were acting like Puff was reaching, but he wasn't.
No,
that's more of a formidable opponent.
I'm
just piggybacking on what you're saying.
I'm saying he's not as formidable as you're saying he is.
No, visually, JD and Puff look like the same thing. Historically, Dre and Puff are the same thing.
That's all I was saying.
Listen. JD don't want it with the track masters, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. No smoke with the track masters, bro. Bro, I think the tunes will give him some problems, bro. I think For Real will get in his ass, bro.
I'll agree with you and you on one thing. Honestly, and Puff is probably the only person that could do this. You could probably battle JD and then 2 months later turn around and battle Dre and never play the same song twice.
Oh yeah, Puff catalog is that.
But for someone,
why is it a big issue?
Like, I want people to understand. Like, we watching the Wu-Tang Saga series right now. Method Man's biggest record of his career, featuring Mary J. Blige, was a remix done by Puff Daddy. RZA felt so awkward giving his record to Puff because he knows what Puff does, but he wasn't going to hold back Method Man's career because of his personal feelings about Puff. Like,
I want to apologize to you, bro. We should have been done something like this, bro. Like, too much knowledge, too much history, bro. Like, I apologize, bro.
I'm a old nigga, but I'm older in my hip hop wisdom, bro. Like I'm a historian with this shit, dog. Like the Digging in the Crates Wu-Tang episode took me somewhere. If you haven't watched the Wu-Tang yet, like RZA digging for samples and playing them on the records, like me and my cousins used to go to record stores and do that back in the day. So I'm one of them guys, bro. So when I dig into Puff, I respect that type of shit about Puff. Like records that we don't even think about when you think Puff. Don't just think Bad Boy. He affected the entire scope of hip hop, 95 to like 2000 and right now. Like he's had his hand, bro. Young Jock, Gorilla Zoe, Hood Nigga. That's a Bad Boy South record. Yeah. Like, you get what I'm saying? One of Jeezy's biggest records, Them Boys. He played it in the battle against Gucci. That's a Puff Daddy record. Like, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, leave Puff alone, G. He's different.
I forgot about Nipsey.
Different dude, bro. So would you rather him just be a trophy, which a trophy gets put on the
No,
shelf,
I won't
so
Puff the battle. But we got to give him a formal opponent. JD's not the formidable opponent.
Okay, so Dre is the formidable.
He's the formidable opponent. And I could even say, I don't have a problem with saying Dre could win. Because that's how formidable of opponent Dre is.
I don't see that happening.
You know what I'm saying? I
don't see that happening.
And all the thing was you.
We're talking about gods. That's all I'm saying. So, like, for Puff, I'm almost offended that I would have to settle for the likes of JD.
Thank you.
If JD don't, if he don't accept well, I'm saying if Dre decides he don't want no part of this and doesn't want to do it, then does Puff just not battle and just say, okay, I didn't get who I wanted. I didn't get who I wanted, so I'm just gonna sit back and
yes, because one, niggas already know. Two, I gave you a chance. Play records, get me off the couch. Make the discussion say, oh shit, I'm watching this live and JD got on Puff ass. Now I gotta shut everybody else up. But he didn't show up.
Man, I wouldn't have did that shit either. Why so I'm gonna go play my tracks and then I can't use them because I don't already played them.
That's my
Our catalogs are this big, bro.
Ain't nobody else have to do that shit.
Niggas ain't a part of the culture like that. I fuck with JD and what he's provided to music. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't a part of hip hop culture like that, bro. He not.
Wait, who?
JD not, because this is why I'm telling you, JD not. Okay. Hip hop culture. When we was talking to Reed backstage, and Mook would have walked up, bro. They battling on site, and then still going to do smack battle. That's what I'm saying. That's where Puff comes from. Puff's from Harlem, G. The birth of this shit, my nigga. You understand that? I'm just giving you the dynamic of what Puff and Dre on the West Coast. He comes from the dynamic of that shit too. Gang banging hip hop. You're not calling me out in front of me, and I ain't playing shit. You're not getting Dr. Dre on that live, and he ain't pressing the button. You ain't gonna hear that. Ding, ding, he might cut it off and say, "Stop playing with me, Puff." Dre gonna do something. The man JD said, "Man, I ain't doing that because we don't want to hear Mariah Carey claps. I don't want to hear that right now."
One more thing.
You know what I'm saying?
JD had the silver spoon in his mouth. He didn't have the hunger that he didn't come from the streets.
His dad is one of the biggest black record executives in music.
So is that his fault?
No,
he just wasn't built for it.
That's what I'm saying. He just comes from a different culture. He didn't have to grind. Okay, Puff had to like sleep and ride the train from Washington D.C. to New York every day.
Get coffee.
Get coffee. Him and Mary J. and them slept on the floor. All that. JD's dad was a record executive. First time we seen JD was a background dancer for Houdini in a music video at like 12, 13 years old. You only get to do that if your dad works in the music business. You didn't have to grind to get there. But I'm not taking any of that away from JD. All I'm saying is them 33 million sold confessions and all that, that's cool. But that shit don't match up to that Bad Boy shit.
The only reason I brought that up was because when Puff brought that shit out and they play your shit, he backed down a little bit. He didn't have that automatic grind.
All right, come on, jump right into it.
That hunger. He didn't jump right into it.
And that's when it died. That's when, if I go to Lux on 3rd and I walk in Scale shit and I say, man, fuck this shit that y'all playing. This is what I'm rocking. Scale's going to the DJ booth ASAP. Yeah. Hey, get this nigga Weaver mic and we finna shut the show down. It's hip hop. It's hip hop. Nigga pulled his card. You taking pictures in front of Madison Square Garden talking about I'm looking for Puff. I'm here.
I'm here.
We rich already. We don't need the versus bag. Play a record.
That's what this shit is about, right? Play a record.
That's it.
You got Puff at his rawest form because you don't want Puff in Atlanta or Madison Square Garden because he's better showman than JD, bro. He gonna show the fuck out, my nigga.
I agree.
You're better off doing it right now.
He gonna have his sons out there. You seen his kids, man. He gonna have his sons out there, Harlem shaking and shit, drinking Ciroc. Man, he got all the bitches. As soon as Justin and the other little son walk out, all the women on Puff side. Battle over. You done lost the battle now. Battle over, man.
That bad.
I'm telling you, man. Puff gonna come out with all kind of Ciroc, Loon, them coming, Lil Kim, Jada. You know when Jada show up, that's 3-4 rounds. Jada winning for Puff just because he in the room. Because Jada's the versus GOAT. He's the GOAT of versus. So, and Puff got that cheat code too, along with Biggie. He's got a dead rapper. The dead rap. Drake, Jay-Z, Pac, and Biggie are deadly in versus battles.
True.
Any records featuring those 4 individuals can get you around against whoever. You know what I'm saying? And but Puff got a bunch of those.
Puff could damn near win off of B-sides.
This could be a whole episode.
Puff could win off B-sides.
B-sides, bro. Remixes. He can be the nigga with remixes. We
could talk about this shit for the next 2 hours.
Man, did Mariah Carey Old Dirty Bastard remix.
Unfortunately, we got to move on, Scales.
The Fantasy remix. That's a Bad Boy remix, man.
So, earlier I mentioned about how the world changed for the hip-hop culture on March 24th, 2020. From then to now, what do you think of the evolution of verses? When I asked you that question, and I'm gonna go to both of y'all. When I asked y'all that question, do you think it's where it should be, or do you think something else? There's an element missing out of there.
Weave, you can go first.
I think the concert format is what brings it to life, right? I would love to see them get out of New York, come to Houston. They don't really care about the COVID protocols and shit like that, but hey, whatever. But I will admit I was wrong, right? I'm looking at some of these matchups. They grabbing, me versus Tory. They got a whole bunch of niggas that don't really deserve to be on that stage without that catalog, and I felt it was dying. But they've done a good job resurrecting. The concert format brings a different taste to it, and the only thing that's left is to start traveling the world, which is going to be a little bit difficult. But once they do that, yeah, it's unstoppable.
Okay,
you have to clean it up. That's my only thing. You can't just have Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. It makes it look a little tacky. That's all I'm saying.
Cheesy. Is a word I'd use.
So maintain the stature. Make it godly.
What battle did you think it was dying at? Before I get to Scales, what battle did you think it was on its maybe at its lowest or on its down?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. Once they start rolling off Eve versus Trina, Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy. I'm like, yo, what are we doing? And they bounced back and they gave us Keep Sweating Bobby, which still wasn't the matchup I was looking for. But then they got at the lab and said, okay, Locks versus Dipset, Ja versus Joe. They kind of recovered in that sense. But stop getting the homies. I don't want to see, Drag On and Mr. You know what I'm saying?
Because right now, what we supposed to get State Propping, Beans and Nori is next, right?
It's in the work.
I don't know if you listen to Drink Champs, but Nori's been campaigning for this for the longest. This has been like 6 months of Nori campaigning.
Nori doesn't want any smoke. I'm sorry.
And he had Beans on his show, and he bet nothing short of beg Beans to do it.
First
and
of all,
Beans told him, put up a bag. They got their own side bet of $100K.
Beans had a nice run, and then where Nori loses is the Jay-Z bag. Beanie Siegel got some classic records with Hov, like shit that didn't even make the radio, but the streets know. Like ignorant shit. When ignorant shit come on, Nori, what are you playing after ignorant shit?
It ain't nothing you can tell me about Beans, because that was my favorite rapper off.
Even though what we do is wrong, like Nori got some big records, but them records you got ain't culture shaking like what we do is wrong.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's on.
They don't go long either.
They don't go long. They short.
In all honesty, I like the War Report, but I don't think it was.
I don't know how much.
I don't think it was what Nori thinks.
I don't even think he plans on playing much of that.
What War Report?
Now that I'm a big component Noriega fan. It's Nori the solo artist. Nori got CNN. You know what I'm saying? The Cameron, the record that Jadakiss playing every battle, and that works. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know about. He got about 4, 5, maybe. Super Thug. You know what I'm saying? He got about 4 or 5. He gonna be trying to play some of that reggaeton shit too. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna work, B. Nah, that shit not about to work against Beans. Beans was the hardest nigga in the game besides DMX at that time. Like it was DMX and Beans. Like you didn't want to see them niggas in the alley, and they were making the hardest music in the music business.
That's my fucking favorite.
Beans is a different animal.
If I'm Beans, I'm playing the Jada diss. Like what you gonna bring?
Yeah, exactly, bro. His mixtape bag is deep. His radio bag is deep. Then I said he got a Jay-Z bag. Like he's a dangerous dude in this format too. His 20 is dangerous, even though he didn't have a long career. He was that strong in his 4 or 5 year run that he got 20.
Well, same question go to you, Scales, that I asked Weave.
I agree with Weave. I love the live in person, even when they had Jeezy and Gucci in the same room. I enjoyed them being in the same room more than I enjoyed the actual battle itself. It was just the fact that they were in the same room. That shit got me. Like I said, I'm a big fan of smack battles. So it took me back to that platform. Niggas battling in the park, battling in the lunchroom. It took me back to that. So I like that. I like the old school. One of my favorites that I left off to was the Isley Brothers Earth Wind. They shit was dope that night. Like, that was a beautiful night of music.
If it wasn't for Steve Harvey.
If it wasn't for Steve Harvey.
He talks too
bad. Yeah, he was annoying. But like even Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle, you know, like it was nice where we had some magical moments. So I want to salute verses for those nights too. But then we also had the Bow Wow, Soulja Boy shit.
Magical. Erykah Badu,
Jill. I also felt like it started going on a decline too around the Ashanti Keisha Cole. That's when I felt like it started taking a little dip. And then we got Soulja Boy, Bow Wow. Like it started. And now, like he said, they bringing it back. Dipset and the Locks really saved it, like for me, because I thought they were losing steam, and that battle brought it right back.
So do y'all think the versus bag now has anything to do with, you know, people, you know, being more, you know, apt to
because they got more money now. Yeah, that's why
they weren't getting paid at first.
No, and that's why I'm saying, like Weave said, they can reach for bigger fish now. That's why Puff's interested in doing it, because the purse is bigger now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't really think Puff even care about
well, he's already a sponsor. Yeah. Ciroc already sponsors every versus battle, so
he's gonna get his off the back end anyway.
He already making money off of versus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
because he wanted it originally on Revolt TV.
Exactly. And something contractually didn't work out with that. Yeah. So
I mean, I think since its inception, over the course of what are we at? 16, 17 months of versus. Everything started off on a high. It hit a low. I will give you it hit a low. And I think it hit a low for me when they couldn't get the technology right, the audio right. You remember? I think it was the
112 Jagged Edge. The 112 Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
Nelly and Luda had problems.
Well, that was because of a storm, though.
Yeah.
But
Babyface and Teddy Riley. But that was one of the earlier battles.
But I think it had hit a low because it hadn't quite figured it out. Which I can ride that wave. I can ride the storm. You know, when you're trying to figure shit out. I think the Bow Wow and, you know, that was to a certain group. I'm never going to knock nothing that I think was targeted to a certain group.
I'm just with Weave, though. Neither one of them niggas got 20 songs. So they really shouldn't. Trina and Eve don't got 20 songs. A
lot of the battles that, you know, when you just go off the rip or you can Google, you know, Billboard hits and shit like that. A lot of motherfuckers didn't have 20 hits. I was telling y'all Bobby Brown had no business doing a versus.
He didn't have 20
I told
songs.
people, everybody had Bobby winning. I'm like, show me 20 Bobby Brown records that y'all figure are hits.
I have an image that he still got New Edition songs.
Man, he didn't. Keith Sweat is
his biggest hits. He wasn't on.
Keith Sweat is a pen, man. Keith Sweat is a pen. He wrote some of the biggest records in the 90s besides having his own records. Like that wasn't a fair battle anyway.
I like where it's at right now. I'm excited to see what it do in the future. I would like them to get this timing shit down with these artists coming out damn near 45 minutes late and shit like that.
I mean, that's nigga shit.
Yeah, it is, but you know,
versus is some nigga shit.
If they ain't gonna play them on the weekends, which they very seldomly do, because some of these battles, I'm like, dog, I gotta work in the morning, but I want to work. I knew the Locks and Locks and Dipset was going down. I knew it. But I had to work the next day. I stayed up. I bit the bullet, but I could have been really partying because I was always a Locks fan. I told people Dipset had no business in that battle.
But see, I don't think we're back outside now, right? So we can't have them on the weekends because there's just more things that are, you know, better to do. We'll just watch that shit later. You know what I'm saying? So having it on the weekend,
figure watch parties and shit out. If you know, for what being what, you know, there's marketing to be done in the small sector too off of shit like this.
Man, listen, Tori, we done kicked it in Houston. Last thing we talking about is going to watch a fucking versus.
Facts.
I think it will work for a certain group of people. For a certain group of people,
I'm with Weave. I think they got to travel with it, man. That's it. They got to travel with it. You know what I mean? It's places that's open. Atlanta's open like Houston.
Wait, hold on. You know what you call it was at Magic City. Gucci and
yeah, but it was still had a capacity limit though. See, New York didn't have a capacity limit. You just had to be vaccinated in that room with the Locks and Dipset, and you saw that room, bro. It was the energy in that room. Jadakiss could have played anything, and it was gonna ring off in that room. It was the energy in that room.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they're not. I don't think they're opposed to traveling.
I don't necessarily think they're opposed to traveling, but I think they absolutely have to open up the traveling bag. The next chapter of this shit has to be a traveling bag. Like, I would love to see Pharrell versus Missy in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Like, that's fire to me.
What I'm saying is, okay, like if they decided to do a Baby versus Master P, I can't see it anywhere but other than NOLA.
In New Orleans.
And I think they would go to NOLA. I don't think they're above traveling. I think it's down to the artists and how hard they campaign.
And I think COVID's playing a big problem in that also. But I'm just saying, what I would like to see next happen for the platform would be is that we get these matchups in places like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ken folk, I'm looking in the comments. They don't have to do 3-6 and Bone. They can keep that. We don't need that.
Well, no, I don't want a 3-6 and Bone either. I'd rather 3-6 go against somebody else because they got a production bag.
Yeah.
But they need to go against
a very nice production bag.
They need to go against you know, they'll probably get cleaned up by Neptunes, but they need to go against somebody that rap and produce.
No, I don't. Yeah, the clips wouldn't work. I mean, not the clips, but Neptunes wouldn't work. I mean,
and what was the D'Angelo shit? That was a low moment.
That was just a concert.
Somebody's supposed to be battling. I forgot who it was.
Gotti and
Maxwell.
Oh, Maxwell.
Yeah, it was Maxwell and D'Angelo.
Yeah, Maxwell
okay. And then it just ended up being a concert.
Yeah. And it was cool.
But that was, again, at the inception stages. That was still early. And I can go back and listen to my beginning podcast and cringe when I listen to them. So I know how things start out.
But the thing about the earlier shit was that it brought us close to being next to these people that we idolized and saw them in a real conversation with real motherfuckers live. That it was, we saw them like just
okay. So for Ted, like for me, a TED talk during Versus was the RZA and Premier battle. That was probably like the lowest rated battle, least watch. But just to hear them,
I think it was Beanie Man. Beanie Man's was the lowest.
That shit was fire though.
Yeah,
that was the first time we saw motherfuckers in the same room. Remember, the police came and shut theirs down in the middle of it because they was in the same room partying. But RZA and Premier, for me, for a nigga like me, digging in the crates, I'm going back to that, samples and the shit, all of that, to see them talk cloth and be like, man, when you put that record out, or when I heard that mystery of chess boxing, you know what I'm saying, to see Premier react to RZA drop these records, or RZA lose his mind to the Mass Appeal beat when it come on, that shit was fire to me because we've never seen our favorites, like you said, face to face in the same room like that, showing each other love. At least
I appreciated that. I mean, even as archaic and like the sound was fucked
up. Who cares? I didn't care about none of that. It was real, bro. It was real.
And then after the back and forth, I believe for me, it would have been X and Snoop because they were in the same room. They were giving each other props. It looked like Snoop was just going to watch X until that fucking second round happened. And X began to play, you know, some of his bigger albums or whatever. But they gave each other props the whole way. And hey, dog, I remember when
that was a dope battle. That was genius marketing by Versus. That's when I understood Versus, understood the marketing concept and how big this platform could be. To put DMX and Snoop Dogg, the dogs of hip hop, in a room for 20 songs together, like that was just genius. New York and LA, like that was fucking genius. And that's kind of, I think, what Puff is trying to recreate with Drake. You got to have those moments. Why not New York and LA and we in a battle format? Why not? Like, I don't get why people are kind of like opposed. Like, you can't just skip over Atlanta. Yes, we can for historical purposes right now. Sit this round out, Atlanta. Sit this round out. Just sit this round out.
For historical purposes, I agree with you.
Just sit this round out.
If we reaching back, then we got to reach way back.
Gotta have only right, an old school hip hop nigga like yourself. You got to have New York and LA.
You do.
You got to, man. You know,
and I think that would be the benefit of having Puff and Dre.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think Dre bag is big enough. I know niggas.
And I'm with you on that, but we can.
It'll be an interesting situation. You would watch it. It'd be great television.
I still watch it
for
because
you.
It's
I think what will happen is people like Weave and Scales will talk this and manifest this into, ain't that the word they use?
Yeah.
Manifest this into existence, and then Dre goes out there and messes around and gets handled by Puff. And everybody, see, Puff is the greatest. I told y'all, we knew he was going to lose. We said he was going to lose it.
But again, 50 Cent, The Game, Kendrick, like there's a we have to be mindful.
Facts.
Like of what Dr. Dre has, like it's
Man.
almost
Nobody's taking it away.
I'm not never taking that away, but the R&B bag is so deep.
But
And if he goes into it, y'all gonna say it. See, Dre can't do that.
Saying
I
is,
said he couldn't do it.
That's not fair.
I'm trying to tell y'all, Dre don't have to play. Puff better not play that R&B verse, that Dre shit. I'm telling y'all that now, and I love Puff. I'm telling you that now. He bet not pull none of that shit out.
Puffy whole ass to get up there and say some shit like, "Well, Dre, I bet you ain't got none of these," and then start spinning Jodeci records and shit like that.
Because you know he'll do that.
I told y'all this is why.
And then Dre will say,
the shit.
Dre will come back and say, "I don't need none of those."
Yeah, I don't have to play those because I got these. You see what I'm saying? I got these, bruh.
I don't know. The shit talking will take him. It will put him down now. I think. It's gonna knock him down a couple. That's how it'll do. Even though he got some shit, the shit talking
like Puff can't say he got more money than Dre. They both billionaires. Yeah. So we both billionaires, boss. I got hits just like. See, what I'm saying is match the moments.
I'm there for
it. All of us grew up in this culture, right? So match the moments. Look, when California Love come on, right? Not one of my favorite songs, but it's a hip hop moment. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Those are, and ain't nothing but a G thing. Hip hop moments. Juicy, hip hop moment. Black Rob, whoa, hip hop moment. Get what I'm saying? All about the Benjamins. Victory, hip hop moment. Busta Rhymes screaming all over Victory is a hip hop moment. That's not just a record.
Skills. Walk me through being in the club when In the Club rang off.
Yikes. Jesus. Atlanta, 2004. Michael Jordan's last All-Star game weekend. I'm in the A when 50's pushing this record. G-Unit buses all over. Bro, 50 times a night, every club we went to. This is Atlanta. He's not from Atlanta. This shorty folk them, and I'm talking about Atlanta had a run. They had a scene at this time. Goody Mob's huge, CeeLo, Outkast, Jeezy's hot. Get what I'm saying? Atlanta had this is their time. This Gucci man, no. 50 came through that weekend. Nah, bro. In the club, go shorty, it's your birthday. First of all, any happy birthday record works. I don't give a fuck. Any happy birthday song works.
Chains work, the Luke's work.
2 Chainz shit work, Luke shit work, Stevie Wonder shit work. Name them. Any variation of happy birthday works. And even Drake, Ratchet Happy Birthday. I see girls post that song. That wasn't even a charted record for him. And girls post that every birthday. I see women post that all over my timeline. Ratchet Happy Birthday.
Has anyone heard this guy called The Game? Like Dre has his bag is stupid. Like to think, and we're only talking 20 records.
Hey man, Dre produced dun, 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 Mary J. Blige, Hateration, Holleration. That's a Dr. Dre record.
Hey, I got Dre.
And Dre ain't got no R&B.
I didn't say that. You are just.
I said, and what you're going to say, and well, whoever the motherfucker in the comments said, I didn't say he didn't have a bag. No, I said his R&B bag is not bad.
But I'm saying, thank you. But I'm just saying, and okay, so then I'm gonna be technical. So Puff can play like executive produced R&B records by him, not even records that he like wrote or had his hands on, just shit that he had hands in, right?
I guess what his name is on, yeah.
So Dre was a part of Just Be a Man About It, the Tony Braxton record.
Mm-hmm.
He talks on it. Mm-hmm. You know, he's talking on the record, and he mixed the record. He didn't produce it, but Babyface sent it to him to mix it. Okay.
Put his cell phone and shit.
Yeah, he put his cell phone. He talked on it like, yeah, I like this. Yeah, this Dre, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Dre's been a part of some R&B records.
He has. It's
not as deep as Puffy now. Puffy's R&B goat.
As long as we keep
Dre got a Crown Royal bag. And
Puff got a duffel bag.
Puffy got a duffel bag.
And I feel like on the gangster side, Dre has a duffel bag.
Yeah.
And Puff has a Crown Royal bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In my opinion, well, it just go back to who got first round. You know, who flipped the coin, who go first, because that's the person that's gonna fuck around and take this shit and control that first round.
That's what I was saying.
Now you can flip it. I'm not saying because we've seen it done. We seen Luda do it to Nelly because Nelly went first.
Mm-hmm.
And Luda was able to flip the script.
2 Chainz kind of flipped on Rick Ross too that night. His back half was deadly. He was kicking Ross' ass on that back half.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. That was a surprise one though. I had Rick Ross.
Yeah, we all did, but then we had to remember.
I still think Ross won it.
We still had to remember the power of 2 Chainz. This guy has been on a run since he showed up. He still ain't stopped.
I think that would be JD and Puff. I think Puff will win, and JD would come in the end, kind of like 2 Chainz. Then like, oh, I forgot about that shit. I forgot about this shit. He wouldn't win, but he'd be.
It's just hip hop moments for me, like Craig Mack flavor in your ear, bro. Like I remember when that debuted on BET.
I don't think that's getting played though.
That's a big record,
but I don't think that's getting played.
That's one of Bad Boy's biggest records, though.
Biggie's verse is getting played.
What I've come to see watching these, and that's why I hate. And I know everybody does it, but I hate that what they gonna do when they play this question,
like Puff
because some of them songs don't get played, and then when they do get played, they're not played when you would expect them to be played.
Like the one-hit wonder shit Puffy got is just dangerous, dog. Like Puffy got hits on one hit, like people we never heard from again.
Truthfully, this whole table is saying the same thing.
Like Lil Wayne, hold on, Lil Wayne and Swiss Beats just got back on the charts a couple years ago with a very big record, and all they did was take G-Dep Special Delivery. They didn't change anything, and Lil Wayne rapped to it. What the fuck, ho? NMO. I said big record for Wayne. That's Special Delivery. That's G-Dep. So you telling me he can't play Special Delivery in the battle? Everybody knows that beat. Everybody in the world knows that beat.
What did Ghost open up with? He opened up with the fucking Special Delivery remix.
Special Delivery remix.
That beat is hard. That beat is hard.
I would be expecting Puff to play Special Delivery.
Like Black Rock. I'm going one hit one.
Harlem Shake became famous.
I'm going one hit wonder shit. Black Rob, whoa. Shine, Bad Boy, whoa. That's you don't want to face records when those records ring off in concert places. Fuck Shine. You might not like Shine, Biggie Bite, whatever. That record in a battle format. You don't want to face records like that.
Before I even knew what Shine looked like.
You don't want to face records like that.
Looked like B.
Puffy has produced and been a part of records that snatched your ear when you heard them immediately. Not 40 times it's on the radio now. You like, yeah, this is my shit. Like, no, the first time you heard it, like, I ran with niggas who love Tupac. Puff put out records that even them niggas had to be like, dog, this shit cold the motherfucker, dog. Fuck Bad Boy. But this shit right here, no, for real, the niggas I was running with, bro, I was the only East Coast nigga in my crew. Every nigga I was around was a West Coast, down south, ghetto boy, Pac nigga, bro. But Puff put out records that even niggas couldn't hate on, that hated his guts. They even had to be like, nah, that shit right there, that East Coast ass shit right there, nah. That's
and it's about the feeling. When Dr. Dre plays Explosive, how do you feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what beats that? You know what I mean? Like,
what's my motherfucking name when you hear the build up? And then it drop. No, dog. Ain't even no words. He hasn't even rapped yet. I remember watching DMX like, bro, why they doing that to X? This is Hall of Fame shit y'all got X going against. Snoop got Hall of Fame records, man.
And Snoop didn't play all this shit.
Bro, he didn't have to. Yeah, that's light on X. That's his guy, man.
But I told when we first had this conversation, I always said Snoop was a cheat code.
Yeah, Dre, bro.
That's 20. Well, just not that. There's 20 years of fucking hits,
bro. It's
hard to go up
against the Snoop. When Snoop on that back half, he started playing that shit with the East Siders. No Limit. Those songs were good, but they didn't have the impact that Drake had, and that's why X was able to catch up on the back half because he started playing his monumental hits. See what I'm saying? Dre is different. 112 won about 8 rounds with Puff Daddy produced records. Cleaned them up. I'm like, dog, this JD production, this Jagged Edge shit don't hit like this Bad Boy shit hitting. These Mario Winans records and shit is sounding different compared to this Jagged Edge shit, man.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to see it.
Like from a fan standpoint, I mean, we ain't gonna miss with either battle.
Dog, so, you can hate me now with Nas. That ain't your shit.
But again,
but I won't stop now.
How we got back
dog, like when that come on, what is JD playing after that, bro? You can hate me now.
The Brat.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so how we got back here, I do not know, but we got to move on.
My bad.
And this is the close out. This is a final question. Answer how you want, but if you could put a versus battle together, and you can use anybody you want to, what would be the versus battle that you want to see?
I'm going to do Ye versus Pharrell, strictly producing.
Dope.
And you have to have 5 rounds of creating something on the spot.
Damn. That's pay per view.
Yeah, right. You got to pay to see that shit.
That boy Yaden got pretty nice with that live finger drumming. He done got pretty. Yaden got pretty dope with that shit right there. That would be dope.
But just a question, not changing your battle. Just for real, or are you gonna do the Neptunes? Because
I'm just doing for real.
Just for real.
Yes, just I get where you're going with that, but for real is strong enough.
Poor Chad.
Yeah.
Y'all leave Chad up, man.
Do you think he's strong enough by himself?
Yeah, I think elements.
I would like to say Neptunes, but this is his battle, so I give
because I'm looking
Chad
at
slept on, man.
Chad.
It's not a matter of discarding Chad's contribution, but when you work with somebody like Chad for so long, certain elements of him just kind of become embedded inside of you. So I feel like you almost bring Chad without bringing Chad. We can be at the war room together.
For example, the Jay-Z record from the Black Album.
That's all for real.
So high off that song, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The drums, those are Chad's drums, but Chad wasn't in the studio working on that beat.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I get what Weave is saying. He's in Pharrell's DNA. You can't take Chad out of a Pharrell beat. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You know what I mean? If you won't ask me the same question, I don't really have a matchup. I got people that I want to see in verses. So Ye, somebody I would like to see Drizzy in one. I like to see Wheezy in one, and I like to see Missy in one. Those are the four people that I would like to see. And Outkast. Outkast is my fifth. I would like to see Outkast, but I don't know who would go against Outkast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, leave Outkast alone.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know who goes against Outkast. Like,
or maybe they can just go against.
If I had to reach, it would probably wind up being the rest in peace Pimp C, but they probably grab UGK for that.
I love UGK, but they can't hang with Outkast.
No, it would be better if it was like UGK and 8 Ball in them. But
yeah, that's a better matchup.
I don't know. I'm leaning for a battle for somebody to go against Future.
Yeah, if you know, they've been throwing that Wayne Future thing around. I think they've been disrespecting Wayne with that meme, but you know.
I don't think it would be a wash by any means, because I think Future, depending on what Wayne plays, I think Future's got some stuff that he could battle back with. Future definitely has 20 hits. I would like to see. I don't care who Future goes against, but I would like to see a.
I think their matchup goes back to this because both of them niggas is goated. So then we have to go to who plays more bigger hip hop moments. You know what I'm saying? And I just think Wayne has more.
Oh, no doubt.
Because of the Cash Money run alone.
But then if you do that, then who does Drake go against? I mean, talking rap Drake or singing Drake or both mixed. Is it Chris Brown at this point? I don't know. These are some big matchups. Well, Chris Brown already said he wasn't doing a versus.
Yeah.
So
Chris Brown said he got to go against himself.
Or Usher.
I thought Usher was a formidable opponent.
Because Weave, this will go to you first before we sign off. Because I know both of y'all are big Hov stands. Then at this point, is there anybody that could give you a show? I'm not saying beat Hov, but is there anybody that could give you a show with Hov?
No.
I think for the culture, him and Nas would be cute. It'd be cute.
We'll look at Nas differently.
You wouldn't watch it. Why not? For the culture, they battled. Why wouldn't you watch two niggas who had beef?
He gonna run through Nas so bad. I mean, I like Nas, man. As a matter of fact, I love Nas. I'm not about to sit here and watch this happen on live.
Nas got 20, man.
I know Nas got 20, but he ain't got 20 Jay-Z 20.
No, he don't.
Those 20 are different.
He got 20 to go on the versus screen and get cleaned up by Hov 18-2 or whatever, but it's still gonna be,
You talking about me having 20 pennies and you having 20
For
quarters.
the culture, man. It's for the culture, man.
Or
Nas got 20.
Jay can go against Beyonce.
Who?
Jay can go against his wife.
Damn, I might have to ride with the queen on this one. I might have to ride with the queen on that one.
I can't speak knowledge beyond that one.
See, then that takes the hip hop element out of it.
Yeah.
It's strategy at that point.
It is.
But hey, I mean, nobody beats Hov though. Like,
yeah, I don't
find Biggie.
I don't know. I think the queen might back him into a corner. I don't know.
But y'all he only can bring out 20.
Who, Jay?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's not like he can bring them all out. We think about his whole bag. He got to pick 20 of the right ones.
Well, to go against the queen, he definitely got to pick
against
20
anybody.
of the right ones.
Even Nas, because you got to bring out the right ones. Because the wrong one.
because it come down to beats for me with Nas. That's why I say he lose
But Nas been a part of 20 records.
He got 20.
Like,
he got 20 of them.
If I made a list of 20, if I made you a playlist of 20 Nas records, you're gonna like all 20 of them Nas records.
I understand that, and I'm not saying I wouldn't. I told you I love Nas, but the thing about Nas is Nas has been good, but Nas hasn't had the beats. He hasn't had the producing that Jay had. So Jay is gonna play shit that we didn't listen to in clubs, we didn't roll to in cars, we didn't kick it to, and all this other shit. And it's gonna resonate different, as you said, playing through a fucking Coliseum or a stadium. Or
I guess this battle kind of is where you're at too, because like if you in New York, Hove is Hove, but Nas is Nas in New York also. And like some of that Illmatic shit, like them niggas is gonna be like, Jay, you not beating this. I don't give a fuck what you say, my nigga. You're not beating this. This is Illmatic, son. He got 5 mics in the source, son.
He got shit you could drop in a club and it just tear that shit down.
He got a lot of shit like that, bro.
Major Look will shut the
yeah, Major Look is crazy. Jadakiss wins rounds with the Major Look remix.
Yeah.
Like, so Nas can play Major. Ludacris played Major Look and cleaned Nelly up in a round with that because he was on the remix. That's Nas's song. Fuck them niggas first. That's Nas' song.
We're talking Nelly. This is Jay-Z.
No. I know. But I'm using that as an example that Jadakiss has used that song twice. He used it against Fabulous and Dipset, and that's Nas's record. Made You Look. They Shooting. That's Nas' song, and that was a big song.
It
like,
doesn't win round.
Was a big song. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and poo-poo on Nas like he didn't have big records too.
But still,
he had big
records. He didn't, but he didn't have whole big. What?
No, he definitely didn't have.
If I gave you 20,
but he had big. But I'm trying to say, give me another nigga from New York.
I must be stuck in the Twilight Zone.
No,
I'm the one capping for Jay-Z, and now you're the
no.
one
I'm not even saying. I'm just saying to give my nigga a formidable opponent. I don't think anybody can beat him, but I'm saying for nostalgic purposes and culture wise, Nas is the only person that I would even want to see act like they finna take Jay on in a versus. You know
and all I'm saying, Scales, is that there's 20 records that beat Made You Look. That's all I'm saying.
Damn, Jay got 20 that beat Made You Look.
You know that.
Ain't no ties in there, Weave.
Man, I'm wrong.
You Look was a problem, dog.
Man, so was Can I Live? You know, like, I got joints I can
Jay-Z standards in a strong none. Come on, fam. None.
Scales. Before the night is up, I'm sending you 20 records that will beat Made You Look.
That's still gonna be debatable. You still gonna
because I'm gonna be honest with it. I'm sitting here because you know I'm Hove, baby, man. I'm sitting here.
I'm gonna listen objectively,
and
I'm gonna listen.
And I'm just trying to think like.
I too would like to see this.
Yeah.
Because 20? I'm not a stand of either of them, so I would like to look at it from clear eyes and make sure that this
10 Weave.
I got 20 records that beat.
Damn, I want to agree with that, but
now, granted, I'm cheating. I'm grabbing It's On. I'm grabbing What We Do. I'm grabbing records.
But here you go.
Niggas in Paris.
I might grab that too. It's all records. Hey, No Church in a While. I'm grabbing records. So I'm grabbing all versus, quality records. But yeah, there's 20. If Hove wanted to get in his bag and shut him out, he could do that.
All right, you got to end this show. That's some bullshit. You might be right, but I'm gonna stand for Nas because
who else besides Nas? LL Cool J? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, who else from the East Coast could even go in the ring with him? He
hasn't done a versus.
No, LL's a little dated, and he transcends a lot of
different genres,
decades and shit,
and different genres.
And he got some hits, but he still ain't Hove.
No,
no. I just said, damn, LL has never done a versus.
I know, but
that's a name I've never thought of when I thought of versus.
Yeah,
because LL is the reason a lot of people are rapping now.
Shit, maybe Outkast.
What, go against Hov?
Yeah,
that's how I view Outkast as a group. Like I said, I'm a Wu-Tang baby, but Wu-Tang can't fuck with Outkast in no verses. They getting cleaned up. I love the Wu.
No, that's those fighting words right there,
bro. I'm gonna tell you somebody else before we get out of here. I like to see as a versus. This is my wild card, CeeLo Green. That nigga wrote for the Pussycat Dolls. He was a part of Gnarls Barkley. He had his own solo hits. He was in Goody Mob. You know what I'm saying?
Arms too short to fight with God, though.
Yeah, CeeLo Green got 20 of them. He'll get on your. He'll get on
from 20 different places.
Yeah, he can he can take 5, 5, and 5 and give you a problem.
Because Fuck You was one of the biggest albums when it came
he got
out.
That
you couldn't go nowhere without
that Melanie Fiona collabo. Like, he got some crazy joints. I was looking at his track list the other day. Like, whoa, this nigga wrote that. He was a part of that. Like, oh my God, CeeLo. So that's why, because I got on him because I was thinking about Outkast the other day. Like, motherfuckers don't really want to see Outkast. You know what I'm saying? Fuji's, Wu-Tang, they don't want to see Outkast, bro.
Fuji ain't got shit.
Nah.
So, real quick, your opinions on the upcoming battle. I think everybody is pretty much gonna have the same answer because I'm not excited about this. But we got T.I. versus
That's
Yo
real.
Gotti.
That's fake.
Yeah, I heard it was fake. That's why I said Beans and Nori is next. Yeah, that was fake.
Yeah, that's a terrible.
That was fake. That was a fake date and everything. Because I went to Versus and looked that shit up hard.
Oh wow!
Because all that shit.
I was really looking.
Because at the BMF premiere, T.I. was talking shit to 50 again. T.I. called 50 out again last weekend at the BMF premiere. Yeah, the BMF world premiere red carpet. On the red carpet, he called 50 out to his face again. And 50 just laughed.
And 50 said no.
No.
But Busta said yes.
Yes. And he still won't take the Busta bait.
Well, see, this is the problem. T.I. can beat 50. I'd have already told you that.
Yeah, he don't want to.
He can't beat Busta.
Performance factor. The only person beating Puff beating Busta in a performance is Puff.
Yeah, he's not beating Busta. Once you get to the fact that one,
Busta gonna have to battle like Missy or somebody.
The fact that Busta can do his verses the way he did them in the studio alone is gonna blow the crowd away. So you're gonna lose them rounds, even if you got the better song. Just to hear Busta rap as fast as he does without taking a breath, he's gonna lose. These people are picking the battle. I get it. You fixing the fight a little bit.
Yeah, you fixing the fight.
I get it, but
I put Busta against Jay. I put Busta against Jay.
You'll put Busta against
who?
Jay?
Jay-Z?
Yeah.
All right, we're about to get out of here, man.
You wrapping up?
My producer got sleepy, and
that'd be nice. That'd be nice. I would like to see it.
It might be fun to watch, but it ain't gonna be no battle. That ain't gonna be no battle.
What's the purpose of watching the verses? Then it's gotta be fun to watch. I want to see.
Well, that's why I was capping for JD and Puff because I
was
fun to watch.
That's under the same.
Just because I say I would like to see it, don't mean I think that it's going to be like a formula match. It'd be a very enjoyable. I'll be very entertained. It'd be very entertaining. That shit would be fire. All those hits, all in one spot, nigga. Come on.
Yeah, we definitely got to do another one of these.
For sure.
And I ain't gonna wait a whole year next time before I do it. Maybe we can get the Teasy back in for the next one.
Yeah, we need Teasy. That's all we missing. Yeah, all we missing is Teasy from this.
Teasy for the next one too.
From this building session right here.
Weave, I appreciate you. Anytime I call or text, you always right there. So I appreciate you for coming through and giving some insight. Scales, you ain't never been but a text away, since me and you started chopping it up. So I appreciate both of y'all for stopping through. Let them know where they can listen to your pod at.
Yeah, for sure, man. You can find me on YouTube, Slick Talk with Scales TV. Please hit that subscribe button notification. We try and get that Leo Cohen money over there at YouTube. You hear me though, baby? Also on Facebook, man, follow me at Slick Talk with Scales. Also at JR Scales. Also follow me on IG, JR Scales HBK. I'm also back on Twitter too. That's just JR Scales. Also every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. ish. Tune into the Slick Talk with Scales podcast for sure.
Yo, you can find me on Dad Demo at all platforms, man, social media and all streaming platforms. Just keep tabs on me. I got new announcements coming up. Got a big project that I'm launching next year. And yeah, man, just excited to get back into the swing of things, man. Scales, hey, listen, first time collabing on a pod. Hey, this is fun. Much love, much respect. It's dope, just to kind of, be able to chop it up with the people that you exchange this knowledge with back and forth. And we don't always agree. You know what I'm saying?
We do it. We do it in characters. It's harder to type the numbers. It's better when we get the dialogue like this. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to type the letters and numbers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
But it's love, man. I appreciate, everything that you're doing.
I'm Zoom capable too. So I will be in touch with you. You know what I'm saying? I just got put on to our Zoom capabilities around here about 2 weeks ago. So I will be in touch with you because we got to do this, even if on my platform, yours or whatever. Absolutely
this, brother. Phone call away, Tori. You know what it is, bro. We probably got one of the greatest relationships that no one has ever seen. So, Stay pissing people off. Stay hitting me on the side laughing.
Me too.
That's the funniest thing on earth, because again, people just like to argue, and I always provide the platform for that. You know, a lot of times I do hit Weave on the side laughing at y'all arguing in my comments because I posted it to be funny. Like,
it gets the people going, man.
The one where I said that Jay should have retired. You notice I never commented after I said that. I left and then I text Weave.
Yeah, man.
And I actually made him in on that one because he's like, I got to delete my comment, dog. You did it again.
Facts.
But no, it's great. It's great having good people around. Damn, Weave, I wish you, whenever you do stop back up, you know, we got to sit down at the studio, have a round table, you know, in person.
Absolutely.
I think I will be down there. I will be down there in May for sure because my nephew graduates from high school. So I will be down.
I'll be back in November. So we'll line something up.
Okay, I will
Say
be
no
down.
more.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to get down to Houston, or next time y'all do a MKE versus, you know, Texas type thing, you know.
See, here you go. You're gonna have both of my peoples hating me, but yeah, man, Scales, you get to the city, man, holla at me, dog.
No, I'm supposed to be sliding in ways, but I think it's after you'll be here. So, like I said, when you get here this next time, I'm not missing you. I missed you last time. You had some wedding shit going on, and I had a whole bunch of shit going on that weekend, and I didn't know you was coming. But now that I got a map on when you coming, when you touch, we gonna politic because I'll be your way late December, like right before Christmas. I'll be in Texas, in your neck of the woods. So I already had you on my radar, homie.
Say less.
All right, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Check the podcast out wherever you stream your podcast. From me to you, make sure your next drink is a cold one. We out.
For sure.
What up, though? Milwaukee's Realest Podcast. Mr. Unpopular Opinion,
BB Handy. Hey, y'all.
Milwaukee's Realest Podcast.